again, I say I want to thank the CBA for this wonderful award. I don't deserve it, but I'm going to take it, of course.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
9 o'clock, Hartford temperature, 44 degrees. Good morning. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. High of in low 60s today, 61, 62 under sunny skies to start, and then the clouds roll in this afternoon. Forecast details coming up. Police in Waterbury say a 12-year-old girl is now facing hate crimes charges for her alleged part in an incident this month involving 4 7th graders at Wallace Middle School. Investigators say 2 girls were attacked because they were Muslim. The girl arrested Friday was charged with intimidation based on bigotry and bias. A second girl has been referred to a youth diversionary program as an alternative to arrest for her alleged part in the incident. In what's been an up-and-down season for the two-time defending national champion UConn men's basketball team, the Huskies gutted out a 67-59 win over Oklahoma in first-round NCAA tournament play Friday night. Solo Ball led the way with 14 points, while Alex Caravan had 13, including a clutch three-pointer late. Coach Dan Hurley said afterward the game mirrored UConn's up-and-down season.
That's been a microcosm of the season. Like whenever, we've been able to start playing, good basketball and getting separation, we've tended to shoot ourselves in the foot. But the thing about this team is we're really battle-tested.
Huskies face West Region top seed Florida on Sunday. The opportunity to gamble is quite prominent during March Madness. The Connecticut Council on Problem Gambling says trouble can arise when gamblers keep playing to try and cover their losses. Diana Good is executive director.
One of the things we encourage people to do is set limits. You can set time limits. You can set financial limits. We encourage people to gamble within your means. That can mean something very different to me than it means to you. We just want to make sure that people understand and know the risks of gambling and keep it fun and keep it safe.
Heathrow Airport now fully operational a day after an electrical fire forced its closure and left thousands stranded and upended flights worldwide. CBS's Lee Canary is at Heathrow.
Europe's busiest tarmacs are back in business.
Flames are getting higher.
After this spectacular fire at an electrical substation nearby Thursday night caused a power cut to Heathrow Airport and over 16,000 homes in the area. The transport hub shut down for over 16 hours. The ripple effect immediate and global.
President Trump is continuing to attack a federal judge. More from correspondent Nicole Skanga.
Presiding over the landmark case, federal judge James Boasberg. In court yesterday, the federal judge rebuked the administration for ignoring his order to turn the planes around 1 week ago, mid-flight, until he could review their cases, and accused Deputy Assistant Attorney General Drew Ensign of using disrespectful language and missing deadlines.
City of Hartford investing an additional $3 million in the public school system. Hartford Mayor Arunan Arulampalam says the Board of Ed will direct the funding to critical needs. Mayor is also starting a year-long process to identify at least $3 million more in savings by consolidating administrative functions of the city and the schools.
We want to make sure that we are cutting down on the administrative costs of education, and there's a number of ways we're doing that. We also want to make sure we're attacking special ed costs and rising special ed costs, and we're working to do that. This announcement was to be able to address some of the budget deficits that Hartford schools are facing in the short term, while also dealing with some of the structural issues that we have in the long run.
Mayor set to announce his municipal budget plan next week. WTIC News Time 9:04. Joe Lundberg has the forecast.
This first weekend of spring will start out relatively mild. We'll see changeable skies today, including some sun. It'll be breezy. Look for a late day or evening shower as a cold front approaches and moves through the area. The high 62. Behind it, becoming clear tonight, breezy and colder. By morning, we're down to 27. Tomorrow will start out sunny and breezy during the morning hours. That sunshine will mix with clouds in the afternoon as we wander up to 47. The next system approaches tomorrow night. Clouds will be on the increase, the low 31. For Monday, cloudy with rain in the morning. Could be mixed with a little wet snow at the onset of precipitation. That'll taper to a shower in the afternoon. Our high on Monday, 47. Behind that system, Tuesday will be dry with a mix of clouds and sunshine. It will be breezy and cool with a high of 52. Another area of low pressure looks to pass to our south on Wednesday. With it, lots of clouds, a gusty breeze, and quite cool conditions with a chance for some rain. Wednesday's high in the upper 40s. It'll stay quite cool for the rest of next week. This is meteorologist Joe Lundberg in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, partly sunny skies, 44 in Hartford. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
The Connecticut Fishing and Outdoor Show, March 21st through 23rd at the Mohegan Sun.
Gear up with fishing tackle, kayaks, boats, hunting outfitters, and more.
Book your next charter fishing excursion, hunting trip, or outdoor adventure.
Enjoy animal adventures.
And the new Kid Zone with the family.
Learn from fishing and hunting pros.
Discounts and details at ctfishingoutdoorshow.com.
Connecticut Fishing and Outdoor Show and Adventure.
March 21st through 23rd at the Mohegan Sun.
Every sandwich has bread, every burger has a bun, but these warm, golden, smooth steam buns, these are special, reserved for the very best. The Filet-O-Fish, and you can have them too.
And you can have it all at 2 for $6, like a Filet-O-Fish, Big Mac, 10-piece McNuggets, or large fries. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm Jennifer Osborne, General Manager at Saxon Engineering.
As an assembler, distributor, and welder of hoses, fittings, and pneumatic and lubrication components for industry, Faxon depends on their computer network. Jennifer explains why Tab Computer Systems was tasked with maintaining that network.
We were looking for a company that could better support us before we had an emergency.
And if an emergency happened?
You're looking at the person who would put her IT hat on, but I have no IT experience, so we really needed somebody else to take on the role for us.
Tab is there when Jennifer needs them.
When we have an emergency and I'm picking up that phone, we're getting a call back super quick.
Summing up her experience with Tab,
their attention to customer and the customer needs has been wonderful for us.
Making a change like Jennifer? Call Tab today. 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. Or visit tabinc.com. Technologies advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with Tab, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of Tab Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And good morning. This is Computer Talk with Tab. I am Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And we are going to be here till 11 o'clock, taking your computer calls, comments, questions, and concerns. I know it's a lovely Saturday morning, but you could be anywhere in the country and listen to us via the Odyssey app, via the interwebs, and feel free to call in. We'd be happy to help you out. 860-522-9842 is the number. And if you're using a cell phone, it shouldn't cost you anything. So keep that in mind. Also, before we get into technology stuff, Dennis and I, this is our last day for our Miracle on Ice moment. A couple of rank amateurs here going up against Big Radio. We want to win the contest if possible of the Hartford Current Best of. And it would just be neat to say we did it. So feel free to go to the Hartford Current page there. They've got a best of, and go on down there and look for Computer Talk with Tab, and select that as your favorite radio program. And let's see if we can go up against Big Radio, a couple of rank amateurs here on the Saturday morning program. We're not holding our breath, but we do appreciate any support. It would be just kind of neat if that happened. So I I want to thank you guys in advance, I should say, for going out there and even taking your time to do it. So we appreciate it. There's all other things you can vote for if you like too. I hear we're good at pizza. All right, so technology news. So this is a story. I hear this a lot from when I talk to people about why are breaches so important, and why do we keep talking about breaches, and why should we be worried about breaches, and what's going on with breaches. This is the reason we talk about breaches. So a college football coach has been indicted for stealing private data of 150,000 athletes.
150,000?
This guy was prolific.
Whoa!
He's a former University of Michigan offensive coordinator. He's offensive, all right. Matthew Weiss. He allegedly targeted female college athletes and stole their personal videos and photos. So the Justice Department charged him, he's 42, with doing this, he downloaded this data from 150,000 student athletes. And allegedly, Weiss used the stolen data to help him break into social media and email cloud accounts belonging to over 2,000 athletes. So he primarily targeted female college athletes, and he researched the targets, those targeted women, based on their school affiliations, athletic history, physical characteristics, and his goal was to obtain private photographs and videos never intended to be shared. The old fappening we talked about in the past.
Well, yeah,
making news.
Yeah, right.
So he's been conducting the hacking activities from 2015 to 2023. This guy's got nothing better to do. Yep. Nothing better to do than try to hack into to women's social media accounts. And he was put on leave from the football team as campus police began investigating. So basically he used a third-party vendor, Kiefer Development Services, and it operates an athletic trainer system which stores medical information on student athletes. He obtained the access to these databases through compromising the passwords of the accounts with elevated levels of access, such as the accounts of trainers, athletic directors. So he's breaking into other people's accounts.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he's able to download the passwords that the athletes themselves use to access the system. Well, of course, guess what they probably did? Use those passwords elsewhere.
Right.
Right? That's what happens when a hack occurs.
Right.
So using the combined information that he obtained from the student-athlete database and his internet research, Weiss was able to obtain access to the social media, email, and cloud storage accounts of more than 2,000 targeted athletes by guessing or resetting their passwords. So, of course, if you have two-factor authentication turned on, he can't do that.
Right.
So he broke into online accounts for 1,300 other students and alumni. So he's using exploited vulnerabilities in the university accounts authentication process, which, of course, the exploited vulnerability most likely is they don't have 2FA turned on, if I had to guess. Mm-hmm. And he faces 14 counts of unauthorized access to computers and 10 counts of aggravated identity theft, which carries a maximum penalty of 90 years.
Wow.
Set him away, man. I'm fine with that. Let him rot.
Absolutely.
You're going to do this kind of stuff to people. So, again, moral of the story is turn two-factor on for everything.
Yeah.
Right? This guy had nothing better to do. He could have been playing video games, but no. He has to go and do this. And just so you know, this is just one guy sitting in probably his mom's basement still at 43 doing this kind of work, which is just awful. Now think about all the folks who have even more time on their hands sitting in Uzbekistan trying to hack your accounts, and they might not just be your social media accounts they're going after. So we'll put this story up there. You can read it for yourself, but it really is important that you secure your accounts as best you can. And one of the best ways is having very complicated passwords.
Right.
Right. Don't use them in the same places.
Right. Don't use the same password over and over again, because while it may be great to log into your bank with ice cream, you don't want to log into everything else with ice cream.
Right. And ice cream is a bad.
Ice cream is a bad password to begin with. Yeah.
We recommend passphrases. So you'd want to have the word. If you're logging into your bank, these guys don't know how to give me enough interest to make it worth my time to log into this bank at all in the first place. Some sort of password like that. Exclamation point. Got to add that special character. And then, of course, turn on the second factor, right? You got to turn on your two-factor authentication. And you need to have a long password and complicated password for everything you do. write it down, use a password manager if you like. We talk about Bitwarden, we talk about simple index cards where you simply write the password down and store it away. Easily done, and then turn that second factor on, whether it be Authenticator, whether it be a Yubico key, whether it be, unfortunately, SMS style two-factor. Just have some sort of second factor turned on so that you can protect your accounts. What else you got, Dennis? Anything else you want to bring up?
Well, we have an example of a famous company shooting itself in the foot once again.
A famous one that is like dear to our hearts.
Oh yeah, Microsoft over in Redmond.
Oh, those guys.
As some of you know by now, they have been pushing an app that they call Copilot.
AI.
And it's an AI app.
Yes.
Okay. It's separate from what used to be Office 365, which became Microsoft 365, and which they are now also calling Copilot.
Right.
But that's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not the little paperclip. Remember Clippy?
Right. Clippy. It's not Clippy. At any rate, they've been pushing people to use this thing for, I don't know, a year or so.
At least.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, which is one of our favorite phrases.
Got a nickel.
With this month's security updates to Windows 11, Copilot app that they deployed on all of these computers went poof. It's gone. And now they have had to fix that update and then roll the app out to the computers that all lost it. And I mean, this is their marketing future.
Yeah.
And they yanked it off millions of computers. You cannot make this up.
No.
You can't.
AI is the thing. I've been to conferences recently. All you heard was the word AI. Microsoft removes its quote-unquote premier AI product during an update. What does that tell you? It tells you the same thing you've been listening to on this program for the past 35 years. It's like the B team doing the update work. They didn't even bother checking. If I have a system as it's running right now and I do an update, will it work in the same or better way? There's like nobody in that role. Like you don't have some Skippy sitting in some corner saying, okay, wait, let me just check everything here before we send it out to the planet. And they're not doing it, obviously, because if they were, somebody would notice their AI was missing before the planet found out.
Right.
And it's beyond embarrassing. I mean, the analogy would be like you're buying a car and they forgot the wheels. It's that important. It's AI, right? This is the future of our planet. Is before AI either becomes cognizant or not cognizant or conscious, we have ding-dongs like this putting it out. It should give you pause, right? Do you want a company like this working on AI, right? Are these the geniuses you want working on the AI in the future? If they don't even know how to update it and not remove it from their own operating system, it should give us all pause, right? You wonder why those movies actually make sense. You're like, oh, I guess I can see why Skynet started right up. Skynet said, these guys are ding-dongs. So we'll put the link up there. You can read it and weep. Again, it's $1 trillion company, so we have no choice, right? There's so few alternatives, if any, to running that operating system. Now, again, when Android becomes a more readily installed operating system on laptops and PCs, Microsoft is going to have to be like figuring something out fast.
Yeah.
Because if my computer worked the way my phone did, we would be this show wouldn't even exist. Because you would have no problems, because my phone does not have any issues. I can pretty much do anything I want on my phone without any issues, without ever talking to tech support. I can control a thermostat in Florida. I can book a plane. I can get a car. I can, march. You guys know the list is endless, right? And I haven't had to call tech support for any of it. So, but with Microsoft, all right. And other quick now. Again, I don't have any other news. Carolyn's going to get mad at me. So we're going to be here till 11 o'clock. We have plenty of news. We're going to be here 11 o'clock. Feel free to get in line and vote for us often. If you're in Bridgeport, we know that's how you operate down there. So nobody will care. Just go ahead and vote 7-10 times for us. We don't mind. On the Hartford Current Best of, we are fighting against big radio. A couple of rank amateurs, unpaid ding-dongs, pasty white computer geeks sitting in this little studio, happily giving you our best advice we can on a Saturday morning. So think of us as one of the best in Connecticut. We would really appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Has your home's air conditioning lost its cool? Ready for a change? Say, come on into Campbell. Campbell Heating and Cooling knows how to get the most out of your AC system. Change is good. Filter changes, condenser cleanings, and cleaning the outside of your unit. All systems require yearly service so your home and you can breathe a little bit easier. Before you lose your cool, contact Campbell. Campbell Heating and Cooling and Barney Barker Oil on Facebook or CampbellCooling.com. That's CampbellCooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Equipment.
The first impression is everything, especially when it comes to your child's dentist. At Columbia Dental, we specialize in pediatric dentistry, ensuring your child's first dental experience is positive and stress-free. Our expert team in Manchester and Rocky Hill understands how to make your child feel comfortable and relaxed. With gentle care and a fun environment, we help your child develop a healthy relationship with dental care from the very start. Give your child a dental experience they'll love. Visit ColumbiaDental.com today.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyer Studios, visit GetCarter.com.
That's GetCarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
We are back, and we're going to be here till 11 o'clock, and we'd love to chat with you guys about your computer comments, questions, and concerns. And we'll do our best to help you out, as we always do. It's the 30th year of this program being in some way, shape, or form on WTIC.
30 years.
Yeah.
Woo.
I don't know what I was doing when I started, but I was a NewsTalk radio junkie at the age of 25. So we're happy to be here and help you guys out. Feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number. And let's get right to your calls. We got our buddy Stefan in New Britain. Hey, Stefan, what's up?
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Yeah. Every time I tune in, I feel so much better about using a Microsoft product.
It's not us, it's them.
Yeah, well, about the AI, I hope it didn't, when I got my update, I hope it's missing.
You're not the only one either.
Yeah, let's create something that's way smarter than us and give it control of everything.
Not yet. We're not there yet.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, here's something disturbing. I get an electronic paycheck because it saves the company money.
Yeah.
So I go, it pops up in my email, my Gmail account, and I have to enter a passcode to be able to read it because it's a PDF. Okay? So I enter the passcode, it opens, okay?
Yeah.
And I see it on the screen. Then I go to hit print because I like a hard copy of it.
Yeah.
I'm old-fashioned that way.
All right.
And then this malware bite thing pops up. And it says, do not go to this site, malicious content or something like that. And it offers a link to another site. And as I look at that link, I say to myself, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, I am not clicking that link. So what I did was I downloaded the image and I printed it out. But there's some, I looked on the web, there's some sort of scam.
Yeah.
Going on with Malware Byte. because there was like this warning from Malwarebytes that popped up,
Yeah.
and it said, "Do not go to this website." When I hit print, and
Right.
it says, "Go to this link," and of course I didn't. Link.
Yeah. So Malwarebytes, it seems, has some sort of exploit protection, and it could be that the exploit protection is the issue. You may want to disable it because maybe it's incorrectly false positive.
It sounds like a false positive.
Okay, because like on my phone, pops up fine.
Right.
Okay, but I don't have a wireless to my my printer from my phone, and that's deliberate.
Yeah.
But so that was like a false positive.
Most likely.
Yeah. You might want to go into the Malwarebytes web protection settings, and I think there's a way to whitelist a domain. What you should do is look at the domain that's being loaded at the time that you're trying to print, and just add that domain
yeah, but
as
this
safe.
has never happened before. I've done this over and over.
They could have changed their definitions, and suddenly they're listing a particular site as malicious when it's not. Right. I mean, it's just this is a garden variety false positive scenario, and we see it, all the time.
Yeah, every day, every hour. Any update that occurs on your system from any software can impact another software.
And in this case, it might not even be an update to the Malwarebytes software. It could be an update to their definitions.
Yeah.
Which are coming in daily and sometimes multiple times daily.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah.
Your computer can work completely different every time you boot it up. That's why it's such a big pain in the butt. I mean, it shouldn't work that way. It's like, when you walk down to your refrigerator, is it going to be a different refrigerator every time you see it? That's the way your computer works.
Yeah, this morning you may open up your refrigerator and your milk is on the bottom shelf instead of the top.
Exactly.
And then tomorrow it'll be on a middle shelf.
Yeah.
I see, because I was, if I get Proton email,
the
paid version, because I was hearing you talk about it last weekend, and I can get my own domain name through GoDaddy.com.
Yes, sir.
You can.
Okay. Now, my thing is...
We got a hard break, Stefan. Can you wait for the after the break to ask your question?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Sorry. All right, so we're going to have Stefan's second question after the break here, and then we got a call coming in from Waterbury, and 2 lines open for you. 860-522-9842 is the number, and we will do our best to help you out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns. And yes, you can have your own email address that is actually at you.
Right.
Rather than at some internet provider. We'll be right back.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. Finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs. Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
100 years ago, our founder, Winfred Ira Clark, started out with a mission: sell superior construction equipment and back it with the quality parts and service customers expect and deserve. Today, the W.I. Clark Company maintains that same philosophy. With premium brands like John Deere, Wirtgen, Lee Boy, and more, we provide you the productivity to grow. The W.I. Clark Company, your trusted source for construction equipment for over 100 years. Find us at WIClark.com.
RuPaul's Drag Race is back with a wet and wild new season, and you can watch it all on MTV with Philo. With Philo, you can enjoy live TV from your favorite channels like MTV, VH1, AMC, Discovery, BET, and more. Plus, an unlimited DVR that lets you save and rewatch anything you want for up to a year. We've also got a collection of over 80,000 hit movies and shows that you can watch anytime, and the entire AMC Plus library, all for just $28 a month when you sign up at philo.tv. Enjoy Philo on your laptop, tablet, phone, or TV and stream on up to 3 devices at once. So what are you waiting for? Dive into the splashiest extravaganza yet and start watching the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race live on MTV with Philo for an unbeatable price. To start your 7-day free trial and make sure you get the best price for the TV you love, visit philo.tv today. That's PHILO.TV.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
45 degrees, mostly sunny in Hartford at 9:30. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. A seasonably mild day coming up. The forecast next. London's Heathrow Airport is back in business after being shut much of Friday due to a fire at a power substation. The Connecticut Fishing and Outdoor Show making a return visit to the Earth Expo and Convention Center at Mohegan Sun.
For me, it's about bringing the local companies together, bringing the families together, get away from the Xbox, get away from the device, and have a good time. You can spend hours there.
The show runs through tomorrow. Tickets are $12 at ConnecticutFishingOutdoorShow.com or $15 at the door. NASA is looking for high school students with the right stuff for astronaut meal planning.
Culinary class students from 10 high schools will visit the Johnson Space Center in Houston next month to present meals they prepared for astronauts in outer space. Among the finalists, Maryland's North Point High School, where students had to meet strict requirements. Class instructor, Chef Christopher Willis.
Low sodium, hardly any sugar because of the nutritional guidelines that NASA had to approve.
Culinary student Tria Otley mentions her entry.
A healthy version of beef stroganoff.
While student Mia Johnson is offering outer space enchiladas.
Chicken, peppers, onion, and cheese.
NASA's culinary finals begin April 17th. Stephen Kaufman, CBS News.
The rest of today will see clouds and limited sun. It'll be breezy and milder with a shower or two in the area during the late afternoon and evening hours. The high today 62. Then becoming clear overnight, breezy and turning much colder, low 27. For tomorrow, sunny and breezy through the morning hours. That sunshine will mix with clouds in the afternoon. It'll be chilly. The high tomorrow only 47. Increasing clouds tomorrow night, low 31. For Monday, cloudy with rain in the morning, tapering to a shower in the afternoon. The high 47. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg in the WTIC Weather Center.
Computer Talk with Tab continues up next. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
It's Sarah Samuels, co-host of the Retirement Income Source, heard Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. and again at 12:30 p.m. In retirement, it's all about the income, and that's real income, generated from interest and dividends. If your advisor is selling your portfolio shares and writing you a check, that's not income. To learn how to generate retirement income the right way, tune in to the Retirement Income Source, Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m.
Retirement Income Source with David Scranton is a paid program. Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day? If you get busy or miss your favorite show, don't worry. With Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app, you can stream your favorite shows on demand. You know your day is better with us. Get the news that matters to you from the local voices you trust. No matter what you're up to, give it a try. To get started, download the free Odyssey app and search for your station. That's AUDACY.
This year, celebrate Easter at either Evergreens at the Simsbury Inn or Seasons in the Avon Old Farms Hotel. You'll enjoy a gourmet buffet featuring traditional Easter dishes, live music, and there will be appearances from the Easter Bunny. For just $79.95 per adult, you can get out of the kitchen, relax, and enjoy Easter. There are seatings at each location between 10:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. For a reservation at Evergreens, call 860-392-0309. For a reservation at Seasons, call 860-269-0240. Reservations will go fast, so call and make your reservation today. Celebrate Easter Sunday this year with us at either Evergreens or Seasons.
I found a fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics.
the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
All right. So we're back. And we're going to talk more with Stefan, who wants to understand how to set up his own private email address. All right, you're back, Stefan. What was your question again?
Yeah. Okay, so for the Proton paid email.
Yeah.
Right. Now, all my email accounts, are they automatically switched to Proton? Does Proton do that, or do I have to laboriously do each one?
You do.
You have to do it.
Oh.
Yeah, nothing's easy, but it's not hard either. But you do have to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to go ahead and create this account. This will be a once and for all account, technically, unless Proton goes away, which can happen. Anybody can go away.
They can.
So you're going to configure your new email address, and then you're going to go to anything that's important to you, right? You can leave all the junk stuff where it is, like at the Gmail. Gmail is where I leave all my junk. I don't even read the email box. You can then go ahead and configure your Proton for your important stuff, like your paycheck. Wouldn't that be nice to know that it's coming to you encrypted rather than through Gmail and Google saying, oh, Stefan, you should get paid more, but we don't care that much. They're not reading your email. So you can go ahead and set up those accounts, and then, yes, you'd log into your services using your new Stefan at Stefan.com, and you now have your own mailbox, and it's going to be encrypted, and going forward, it's a much more secure way to have email, period. It's encrypted. Nobody can get into your mail no matter what. Not that you're doing anything wrong, but it's none of their damn business anyways, right? So you have encrypted email that the folks at Proton can't open even if they wanted to.
Oh, okay. But is there any option in Gmail to find out where all my Gmail accounts are?
Not that I've ever heard of. You need to know what email account you used to set up whatever services you're using. Like if you log into your YouTube account or whatever it might be, you have to know those things. So, unfortunately, you have to kind of have good hygiene as far as that goes. But understand that what you have now for free could go away tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I imagine that. I wish some of it would, but
yeah, I know.
Okay, so that's what I have to do. Okay, thank you guys very much. Once again, you're the best.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for listening.
Yeah. All right, so let's
go. And for calling too.
Yeah, he's going to be a regular. So 4 lines wide open, 860-522-9842 is the number. And yeah, we should be considering these days getting away from internet provided email. When I say internet, it's usually your ISP that provides it.
Well, yeah, in the old days, that's who would give you an email account.
Right.
And under normal circumstances, that's fine because that's supported.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you have a problem with it, you can call them and you're going to get support because it's part of what
the service
you are paying them to do.
Right.
But the problem is the free accounts and stuff that you don't really have any actual support for. And then, you're left hanging sometimes if something goes wrong.
And the other thing that you should be aware of is that, again, if for whatever reason, somebody wants to look at what is going on with your correspondence for whatever reason, they don't even have to tell you it's being asked for. They can have the third party can be snooping around in your email and looking for whatever they want to look for. and you're not going to be notified.
Right.
So that's another aspect of privacy that we're losing in this country. And thankfully, you can proactively avoid that degradation of privacy that's occurring over in the UK right now. They're battling over this type of thing.
Yes, they are.
They want back doors.
Yeah, and the UK government isn't negotiating about it. They're just saying, you're going to open that back door. That's it. And in the case of Apple, they said, no, we're not complying. But that, in turn, forces them to turn off security functions for iCloud accounts.
Right.
Because they can't legally do it in the UK anymore.
So it's instead of creating a back door, they're just leaving the door wide open.
Well, yeah, because they have no choice. That's what I'm getting at. The UK isn't. There's no discussion. It's this is the way it is.
But again, the folks in the UK could go to the Swiss-based Proton and say UK pound sand.
Yeah, and Proton doesn't have to comply with the UK.
No,
because they're not in the UK.
So it's an option that is something we all need to be aware of and consider. And again, when you set up a more secure email system, you're less likely to be hacked. You're less likely to get phishing schemes. You're less likely to be targeted because again, it's harder to find you. And, I mean, obviously, you will still be found on the dark web because your email addresses and those people, whoever services you're using, if they're impacted, they'll find out. Oh, I see Erik's email out there, and now I'll try to attack him. But it's just less likely. You're not going to be part of bulk campaigns like Microsoft 365 victims are such targets of. You're going to have to be more spearfished, more targeted. All right, let's go to your calls. We got Zig in Wilmington, North Carolina. What's happening there, Zig?
Hey, how you doing, guys? I like that Proton. That's I've heard you recommend that a couple of times. But my question this time is, I've got an A20 Samsung phone.
Yep.
And a Brother printer, MFC J895DW. And whenever I go to print, either from the Gmail that I want to print, or from a website that I've gone to that I want to print, I go to share, and it looks for my printer. The circle goes around for a while, and then the printer icon shows up, but just for a microsecond. And then it goes away, and the circle goes around, and get another message says printer not available. And then the printer icon shows up again for a microsecond. And the way to get something printed is just to try to coordinate my finger with when that printer icon shows up, and it prints fine.
Really? Oh, that sounds like trouble. Yeah. All right, I'm going to ask a dumb question. You've got, two dumb questions. Number one, you have the Brother iPrint and Scan app on the phone, right?
Yes.
All right. Do you also have...
And that's where I share.
Right.
When
and that's how you'll see
it.
it. Right. You see Brother iPrint and Scan. The other question I have is, do you have the Brother print service installed on the phone? It's an adjunct that's required. Well, in the Google Play market, there is a Brother print service that you also have to install, and it is a background service that runs on the Android. It's not an app. It's listed as if it were an app in order to get it, but once it's on your phone, it's not an app that you interact with. It just runs in the background, and it learns how to communicate with Brother printers on your network, and it makes them available to the app. It's kind of a two-step process when you get this set up on the phone, unfortunately, but that's part of how the Android operating system works. We can get a link to that app in the Google Play market. We'll post that for you.
Yeah, it might give you more regular or ease of printing than you're getting now. That communication seems to be sort of working, but not fully working.
Yeah, we worked fine. Again, we're at a continuing care place down here, and we had printer issues a long time ago, and we learned to get around the printer issues by installing our own router. And the service comes, or the villa comes with a Spectrum router modem in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And at one point, we installed a router, and the printer worked fine at that time. And then the Spectrum people came back and said, hey, the printers, the routers are interfering with us.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got to take out their personal
devices.
routers.
Yeah. It's called
Yeah,
Rogue
so I
IT,
don't know if that-
Zig. You put in some Rogue IT. We find it in businesses all the time of employees trying to get around things or quote unquote make things work, and it causes more trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one thing. But again, we think it's your phone, because if you're able to see the printer and get it to work, but you have to keep kind of finagling your phone itself, I think Dennis is on the right track in that it's probably just needs to be better tweaked or better configured with the app.
Well, yeah, you need the service, because the service runs in the background and it keeps making that printer available to apps on your phone, which is the iPrint and Scan. And I think what's happening is iPrint and Scan is coming up. It's trying to find a printer. Oh, I think I found one over here, but then it can't really talk to it right, so it goes away, and back and forth. You're getting kind of a loop with that. But if the service runs in the background, it kind of will grab a slot, so to speak, for the printer. The app gets that. It looks at it and says, oh, I know where that thing is, and it knows how to send to it.
Perfect. Makes a lot of sense to me. I'll give that a try.
Sounds good, Zig. We'll put a link up there for you, too, on computertalkwithtab.com.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And thanks for chiming in. And don't forget, even though you're not in Connecticut, you can tell the Current we're the best in Connecticut.
Oh, yeah. I tell the people here all the time because listen live or podcast, either way works great down here. And you're my go-to guys. And, Proton, do I look up Proton Mail, or how do what's the first step for Proton?
I think you can go to, there's a link on our website already.
Yeah, we'll put a link.
Just go look for that.
But it's proton.me.
Proton.me gets you to all of their products. And I think protonmail.com might work too, but don't take my word for that right now. Just go to our website and then get the link to Proton Mail.
Okay, and the takeaway on our conversation today was great because you mentioned that you keep all your junk with Google Mail or Gmail, and wow, that was something I was concerned with. So Proton can be used for any of the just like second factor authorization or second factor, whatever you call it.
Yep, 2FA.
Verification, two-factor.
Yeah, so you're going to create an account that's for important things, and then as far as I'm concerned, whatever's free can be your throwaway.
Yeah, that was a really good takeaway. I hadn't thought of that. Thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome, Zig.
Yeah, and as an aside, I mean, even if you're doing business normally with the Proton account, if one of the services you're using it with wants a secondary account so that you can get control of your account if something goes wrong with your Proton Mail, you can always use that Gmail account for that, just in an emergency or in a pinch. It's always good to have the two addresses.
All right, sounds good. We're going to step out for a quick break. Hope that helped you, Zig. And thank you for checking in from North Carolina. We'll be right back after this. We'll be right back, actually.
Has your home's air conditioning lost its cool? Ready for a change? Say, come on into Campbell. Campbell Heating and Cooling knows how to get the most out of your AC system. Change is good. Filter changes, condenser cleanings, and cleaning the outside of your unit. All systems require yearly service so your home and you can breathe a little bit easier. Before you lose your cool, contact Campbell. Campbell Heating and Cooling and Barney Barker Oil on Facebook or CampbellCooling.com. That's CampbellCooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Equipment.
Spring is just around the corner. Don't wait until the warm weather hits to start planning your dream kitchen or bathroom remodel, now is the perfect time to work with Cristino Kitchens. For over 35 years, our family-owned business in Glastonbury has been helping homeowners create beautiful and functional spaces. Our expert team will guide you through every step, from design to installation, ensuring your project is completed on time and within budget. Visit CristinoKitchens.com today to schedule a free consultation and get a head start on your spring refresh.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-488-1329. That's 800-488-1329.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Build monthly.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit ConsumerCellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
We are back. We're here till 11 o'clock. That's a little no BS brass for you. And just before we go to the next caller, I'm going to use my Len Giddick's voice from Garden Talk. The only advice, because I'm not much of a gardener, that Len ever gave that I found was the most valuable advice I ever heard on Garden Talk, for me. I'm sure lots of people got a lot of great advice, but the most valuable advice I ever heard is around this time of year, do not rake your yard in the spring. Because he said if you do, you're planting all the weed seeds in your grass. So don't do it. Don't plant the weed seeds by raking your yard in the spring. And I've done that now ever since I heard that, and that saved me many a weekend and many a hand. I've got soft, supple computer hands. My hands are, they're pansy hands, right? So getting out there with a rake, you get all those nasty blisters. He saved me all the blisters, too. So I want to thank Len. I thank him in my mind every springtime for not raking the weed seeds into my yard. Because my wife and I used to get out there. Every time March Madness was on, we'd have the basketball games running in the background, kids running around, and we were raking in the yard. And he's like, don't do that. Oh, my goodness. So I give you permission per Len not to do it. Let's get to your calls. Let's go to Bob in Hebron next. What's going on, Bob?
Hi, guys. Love the show. It's always fun calling in. I guess this is Proton Mail Day because I had a few questions about them. I leave myself logged into my Proton Mail.
All right, that's fine.
And so it's always it's open anytime like I boot up my computer and open up my Firefox browser, then it comes into view and I can start using it. Do you see that as being a problem?
No.
Okay, great.
Unless you don't trust whoever you're living with.
Nope, so far so good on that one.
All right.
When is when are my emails in Proton Mail? When are they encrypted and when are they unencrypted?
Great question.
Yeah.
So the way I describe it, and Dennis might do it even more technically, but when you open that message, it's now being decrypted and shown to you. But when it came from you to whoever, and when it got into your mailbox, or it headed towards you, it was encrypted. So when they sent it to Bob at Proton, the moment they did that and submitted that message, it became encrypted within the system, and then decrypted when you opened it. So it can't be intercepted. It's in the system encrypted. There's keys on your end that you know, that Proton doesn't know, that allow for that encryption to occur. Now, Dennis, is there any further technical things that you want to bring up in any encryption that's going to make people's hair hurt?
I don't know how deep I want to go with this.
Yeah, I know.
So it doesn't get encrypted until it gets to my mailbox in Proton?
Once it's in that mailbox, yes, it is encrypted there.
Right.
And it remains encrypted.
But not until.
Well, until it reaches Proton Mail's systems.
Yeah, until it's left. That.
Yeah, and until it's left. There's no way to control what happens with it.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, the one thing that I'm going to say is that most, I would say 90% of mail servers in the world talk to each other using SSL, or TLS to be specific. But that's the same thing that puts the little lock on a website that you're visiting. Right. And it makes it secure. It is
in transit.
It is a secure transit, right. But not all of them do that. Sometimes when an email server gets bogged down and slowed down, maybe having to send and receive mail, it may disable the encryption for some messages in order to be able to catch up, because encryption takes up computing cycles. Now,
real quick though. So if you've got a sender who's sending to you and he's sending from Gmail,
right?
The sent message can be discovered. Right, so the person could say, "Hey Bob, I've got this great stock pick. You're going to buy it now." That message on the Gmail side,
right,
is discoverable forever, because his mailbox is not as encrypted as yours is.
True.
Right.
Somebody can come in and say, "Oh, this guy's sharing inside information. I'm going to put him in jail, like right with Martha Stewart, right?" And that message is not something you can secure. Now, if he uses Proton and sends a Proton to Proton, guess what? That stock pick is completely secure, and Martha wouldn't have gone to jail.
It's locked down at every point. Now, when you read an email, that email is sitting encrypted in Proton systems. You're using a web browser to get to it, and that is going to be sent to your computer. But again, that's going to be using a TLS connection, which is encrypted, but it is decrypted on your computer. Because there's no other way to show it to you unless it gets decrypted.
You'd be reading the Matrix.
So that has to occur at your end. And that is where decryption takes place.
And that's where, if you have somebody you don't trust in your home, you've done all that security, and then they sit down on your computer and it's wide open. And you're like, "Oh,
and
what's Bob
also
reading?"
When it goes out of Proton to another email service, then it either is decrypted or it potentially is decrypted on its way.
Right.
So those are the things that Proton can't account for.
All right.
Okay. So when I'm looking at my inbox and I'm seeing like 5 or 6 emails there waiting to get clicked on.
Hang on, Bob. Hard break. Let me put you on hold. I want to get this question. Can you wait?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. We'll be right back.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Every sandwich has bread, every burger has a bun, but these warm, golden, smooth steam buns, these are special, reserved for the very best. The Filet-O-Fish, and you can have them too.
And you can have it all at 2 for $6, like a Filet-O-Fish, Big Mac, 10-piece McNuggets, or large fries. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hey, it's Tom Shattuck. As you know, my friend Phil has been doing Awaken 180 weight loss. It is now week 5. Phil just got back from Florida, so it's time for his newest results. Phil!
Today was the weigh-in time. I'm down 30 pounds since 5 weeks ago today. So things going great.
That is fantastic. So that's, more than 5 pounds per week. So did you get under the 300 line, Phil? And this is, I think you and I are very much the same, where when we were like, in our 20s and 30s, we were like, there's no way I'll be a 300-pounder. And then suddenly life comes at you and you're like over 300. So where are you now?
I'm down at 296. I was well over 300. I'm embarrassed to tell you how much I was. This Awaken 180 has really helped me get down below the 300 mark, and it's all systems go until hopefully I get down to 250.
Down 30 pounds in a little more than a month. There are so many Awaken 180 weight loss success stories, and they all begin with a consultation. Call 844-346-1800 online at awaken180weightloss.com.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
10 o'clock, Hartford temperature 49 degrees. Good morning, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Clouds are beginning to take over, but the temperatures are pretty nice. Low 60s for the high today. We'll have the forecast details coming up. The three-peat dream still alive for the UConn men's basketball team. The Huskies rode solo balls 14 points. Alex Caravan 13 and 7 rebounds to defeat Oklahoma 67-59 in first-round West Region play in Raleigh, North Carolina last night. Afterward, Coach Dan Hurley said the game was a microcosm of an up-and-down season for UConn.
We survived some stretches of, missing some offensive opportunities, but as much as our defense has plagued us a lot throughout the year, it advanced us today. So, just thrilled, to advance and get a chance to play Florida.
The Huskies will do tomorrow. Florida, the top-ranked, the number 1 seed in that West region. Things getting back to normal slowly but surely at Heathrow Airport after an electrical fire late Thursday closed the airport for most of Friday, leaving thousands stranded and hundreds of flights impacted. Heathrow Chief Executive Thomas Waldby.
The power substation is not part of Heathrow's infrastructure. Our systems are not designed to power the entire airport. Heathrow uses as much energy as a city every single day.
It could take several days before they're all caught up with the flight delays and cancellations. In Hartford, police investigating an overnight shooting. They were called to the area of 3155 Main Street just before 1:30 this morning to check out a shot spotter activation. It was while at that scene, a local hospital notified Hartford Police Dispatch that a male in his 30s had arrived for treatment of gunshot wound. That person is now listed in stable condition. A contentious court hearing in Washington Friday, as a federal judge wondered aloud if the Trump administration had simply ignored his order to turn around planes carrying alleged gang members to a prison in El Salvador. Correspondent Nicole Skanga has that.
The government actually just wants us and the American people to believe what it says without any process or any evidence at all.
Sky Perryman of Democracy Forward is co-counsel representing the plaintiffs in the case.
Are you concerned that there are individuals sitting in a high-security prison in El Salvador right now that have been falsely accused of being TDA members?
We are deeply concerned about that, and this is something that should concern every single American.
Judge James Boasberg is effectively investigating why the planes continued, but also arguing that he still will consider whether a 1798 law could be used to justify the deportations. Search is continuing this morning for a missing family from South Korea that was on a trip to the Grand Canyon.
Deputies in Arizona say the mother, daughter, and aunt were headed to Las Vegas in a rental car. The car's GPS last pinged last Thursday about a mile away from the site of a deadly 22-vehicle crash during a winter storm. State troopers are still working to identify all of the cars involved in the pileup. Deputies say they do not suspect foul play.
Correspondent Meg Oliver. And this first weekend of spring brings the Connecticut Fishing and Outdoor Show back to the Mohegan Sun for a 3-day stay They got going yesterday. Organizers call it one of the largest shows of its type in Connecticut and the Northeast. Fishing and hunting seminars, also fly casting demos, and a kids zone, says show producer Christy Gonzalez.
Who cares if you don't catch anything? Again, it's about just spending time together. There's fishing information, hunting information. The Coast Guard is there with life jacket safe.
Tickets can be purchased online, $12 at ctfishingoutdoorshow.com or $15 at the door. Show runs through Sunday. WTIC News Time is 10:04. Here's the forecast.
This first weekend of spring will start out relatively mild. We'll see changeable skies today, including some sun. It'll be breezy, but for a late day or evening shower as a cold front approaches and moves through the area, the high 62. Behind it, becoming clear tonight, breezy and colder. By morning, we're down to 27. Tomorrow will start out sunny and breezy during the morning hours. That sunshine will mix with clouds in the afternoon as we wander up to 47. The next system approaches tomorrow night. Clouds will be on the increase, the low 31. For Monday, cloudy with rain in the morning. Could be mixed with a little wet snow at the onset of precipitation. That'll taper to a shower in the afternoon. Our high on Monday, 47. Behind that system, Tuesday will be dry with a mix of clouds and sunshine. It will be breezy and cool with a high of 52. Another area of low pressure looks to pass to our south on Wednesday. With it, lots of clouds, a gusty breeze, and quite cool conditions with a chance for some rain. Wednesday's high in the upper 40s. It'll stay quite cool for the rest of next week. This is meteorologist Joe Lundberg in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, we'll call it 49 right now under partly sunny skies. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-921-5252. 800-921-5252. That's 800-921-5252.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
When faced with a major health problem, you get a second opinion.
Your health is important. The same applies to the health of your business, including your IT infrastructure. If your IT breaks, it can break your business. Get a second opinion, a network security assessment to determine the health of your IT infrastructure. Recognized as a top-ranked IT provider, Tab Computer Systems, the ASP of MSPs, can help you determine the true health of your company's technology and what you can do to keep it healthy. With over 40 years of IT service experience, Tab Computer Systems network engineers will objectively assess your IT infrastructure's risks and vulnerabilities. Tab's Erik Semmel will review the report with you and your monthly MSP fees to show you what you may or may not be getting from your current provider. Schedule your assessment today at tabinc.com or call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. Tab, Technologies Advancing Business, a 100% employee-owned company.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with Tab, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of Tab Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And good morning. This is Computer Talk. I'm Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And we're going to be here until 11, so feel free to get online if you'd like for the last hour of the program. 860-522-9842 is the number. We will make one last shameless plug to have you vote for a couple of rank amateurs in the radio biz, as it were, going up against big radio or big media in the Connecticut Hartford Current Best of 2025 contest. And we would love to have you guys vote for our little show. It would be neat if we won. But we are not holding our breath. We do realize who we're going up against. It would literally be a miracle on ice moment. So, Hartford Current, yes, it's all set up in the right category. Somebody called up and said we were in the cobbler section. It's like, no.
Nah, we looked at that.
Yeah, no. If you can't find us, you're doing it wrong. It's user error. I can't help you. But we're there, and you can choose our little program, and we would appreciate it if you did. Feel free to vote for anything else. I hear we're good at pizza. Not us, but the state of Connecticut. Let's go back to Bob in Hebron. Hey, Bob, you there?
Yes, I am. Let me see if I can just wrap this up about the proton thing, because I don't want to hog the whole show about proton.
It's important.
But just as far as the encryption and unencryption, and by the way, if somebody sends me an email and it has an attachment, and that's stored on my Proton, is the attachment encrypted too?
Yeah, the entire email is. Yeah.
Okay.
On your side, but not on their
side, but not necessarily on theirs. Yep.
Okay. All right. So when I'm looking at my list of emails there, and I click on one and I open it up so I can read it, is that when that gets unencrypted?
Yeah.
It gets decrypted on your computer.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that everything on there is basically once I'm on my computer and I've logged into Proton.
That's the key. You've authenticated.
Yes. So and it's only on my computer. That's where I've logged in. So it's not visible on any other computer.
It's not even visible on your computer if I sat down to it if you're not logged in. I can't go to your computer and sit down and see anything unless I have your email and password to do it.
Right. But if I'm logged in and I stay logged in,
then it's wide open.
And is that only on my computer or
correct?
Okay.
Correct. It's only decrypted on your computer.
Okay. Okay, terrific. My whole point was just so I can explain it to somebody else and tell them how good it is and that they should get it.
Yeah, and when you're sending it messages too, you can click a box to send it encrypted to non-proton boxes. So if you do, again, I'm not some sort of insider trading person. I'm just using it as an example, as Marco would say in our company, just to say something. You encrypt it. You turn on you say you want to send it encrypted, so that you can send an encrypted message to someone who's not a Proton user, and it is encrypted even in their system until, again, they open it, right, and use whatever password you've attached to that file. Then it's decrypted, the message is shown to that person, but even if their boxes are compromised by the bad guy or somebody who wants to snoop around in it, your message is unreadable.
Right.
So keep that in mind.
Okay, so you have to tell them what the password that is, and you wouldn't just include that in the email or
no, you better not.
Right.
Yeah, there's a password process that you go back and forth with, so that but you could send it encrypted, and now that message is, even in their box, unreadable to anybody.
Right. All there is in their box is a link to it. But where the message is sitting is actually still encrypted, even then. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't even aware of that. So
we're gonna put a link up. We're gonna put a link.
Yeah,
up.
we got a link up on the website, and we're gonna post it over to Mike G is gonna post it over to Facebook, and it's Proton's own page explaining this.
Oh, okay, terrific.
And it does a better job of doing it than I did. Okay.
No, you did a fine job.
You guys always do the best explanations. So thank you very much, and I'm sure I'll be calling in soon with some other problem. But thanks in the meantime.
All right, thanks,
really
Bob.
appreciate the help.
Our pleasure. All right, so Bob's going to go off and encrypt all his mail. But again, if you leave it open, like I mentioned, so this is an issue, right? And we see this a lot. If you have to make sure wherever you are, you trust wherever you are, right? So that's why we want to, in business, we want to have your system go into maybe a sleep mode or a screensaver mode, where you have to re-authenticate after X number of minutes of inactivity. If you walk away from it, whatever, you want your computer to say, okay, after 15 minutes of nobody playing with me or touching me, I'm going to go ahead and lock myself down again, so that if you do want to have access to me, log in again, prove you are who you say you are. Otherwise, the machine is up and showing whatever information is right there. You've authenticated. You could have logged in. You could have used your 2FA that your company requires, and now it's just sitting there with all the information, and you leave it running overnight, and third parties come in looking at your computer, and maybe they're reading stuff wouldn't want them to read, because you're not supposed to have them read it for HIPAA reasons, FTC reasons, for CMMC reasons, for all sorts of reasons. So keep it in mind. So we have 4 lines open for you guys. Feel free to get online. It's 860-522-9842. It's kind of a funny one. It's another AI story. Sorry, the rest of the next decade will have AI stories.
Oh yeah, they're going to be hard to avoid.
Yeah, I apologize in advance. Privacy warriors are whipping out GDPR after ChatGPT wrongly accuses dad of child murder.
Whoa!
So, this is again from our favorite little blog over there across the pond, the Register. We'll put a link up there for you. A Norwegian man was shocked when ChatGPT falsely claimed in a conversation he murdered 2 of his sons and tried to kill a third, mixing in real details about his personal life, that he has 3 sons, not that he murdered them. And so there's an Austrian nonprofit called None of Your Business. I love that name.
Oh, that's great.
I got to look more into this Austrian nonprofit. It's called None of Your Business. They filed a complaint against OpenAI and said you can't be coming up with the hallucinations, making things up about people, because now that information is technically kind of in the ether, right? So if you happen to do searches on this Norwegian man's background, it could say he killed his 3 sons, right?
Whoa.
And this is completely made up out of thin air. So, as we know, it's artificial intelligence. And so they're trying to go after these guys, and I think they're trying to not sue them, but make sure that the GDPR rules are applied so that he's not seen as a child murderer, all because of AI just deciding he was, for whatever reason. That's our future right now.
Yeah.
You can't. Dennis is another story that you can bring up if you'd like right now. Dennis, we have wide open about Cloudflare's.
Right. Cloudflare is a company that their primary product is protection for websites against DDoS attacks or denial of service.
Yeah.
And it also provides content delivery. You can have a website that has a lot of assets on it, which would be graphic images or video, and they would put those things on their own content delivery network so that your physical website isn't bogged down with all of that and having to stream that stuff out when people visit your site.
And they also are kind of an open DNS style
and
too.
they do offer their own kind of open DNS service, which is actually pretty good.
Yep.
It's not as manageable as open DNS is, but it's a fine product.
Yeah.
And hey, if you like it, and go ahead and use it.
Yeah.
But they're offering something else too for their web service customers, or they will. I don't know if it's in place yet.
Yep.
This is their own AI engine that they have that watches AI scrapers coming into the websites that they are covering. So
Right.
let's say you've got a website with a whole bunch of articles on it, okay?
Yeah.
And like OpenAI tries to come along and scrape all that data so that they can use it and give it out to other people without anybody getting to your site.
Yeah,
okay?
right. Completely avoiding your links.
Right,
Because
and
it's just going to understand
they've
it.
essentially robbed you of your intellectual property, and they're giving it out on their own.
Right.
Now, what Cloudflare will do is they have an AI engine that will detect that activity, and it will redirect that
Scraper.
OpenAI or whatever AI scraper. It'll redirect it to their AI engine, and it will feed them a sequence of articles that are related information but are not your data, and distract it from ever going back to your site.
Right.
So that it'll leave you alone, it won't scrape your data, and it will have its time consumed vacuuming up other crap that isn't even going to help it.
It's an AI head fake.
Right.
That's a sad state of affairs.
Yes, it is very sad that they have to provide this, but that's the problem with this.
Right.
Things like OpenAI and Google Gemini and all of that stuff, they're actually now redirecting people away from actual websites that have actual information that you want to read.
Because they're summarizing it for you
They're
before
summarizing
you get there.
it, and they're just displaying it for you themselves, and you never actually go to that actual site anymore. Right. And it's just really nasty. But that's what they're doing.
And they're not coming up with their own content. They're just stealing from other people. Now, this reminds me of Napster.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's
thing.
Napster, but instead of music content, you're talking about web content of all kinds.
Right. But of course, somehow our lawmakers just don't get it. This is too complicated. Ooh, AI. I don't know about AI. What's AI? Oh, it just sounds so hard to understand. This again.
Well, it is probably hard for them to understand because they don't know that much.
It should. Your copyright should be understood instantly. IP, intellectual property, IP in general. Just because you put it on a website doesn't mean you give permission to an AI model to scrape your data, steal the information. Now, people can do it, right? You can take somebody's copy on a website and copy and paste it on your own. But again, it's still copywritten. It says it's copywritten. Every site that I've ever seen says it's copywritten.
Sure.
So you're stealing that data. AI is doing it on an industrial scale.
Right.
It's easily stopped. It should be able to say, and again, if Maine can set a law that says you need to tell us when there's a data breach, and the only reason we know about these data breaches is thanks to Maine.
Because of the state of Maine, yeah.
Imagine if whoever that lawmaker was that came up with that idea, hey, buddy or gal, hey, how about say no AI scraping content without paying for it? Voila. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to actually solve this issue, but that's interesting that Cloudflare has to put this tool in there to give a head fake to AI. I mean, it's like, oh, you want that information? It's over here. Take a look at this. You know, You want that recipe for the best chicken noodle soup? This one calls for like 4 cups of salt. I don't know. Yeah. It's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
And another corollary of the same principle.
Yeah.
The showrunner for Andor, the Star Wars series, that's going to be coming back sometime this year, I think.
I heard that, yeah.
He had originally planned to release all of his screenplays for the series and post them to the web, and so that people can look at them and see kind of a little behind-the-scenes view of how the show is being made.
Yeah.
Because he's been kind of forthcoming about that. Well, it turns out in a recent interview, he said that he is not going to do that after all.
Right.
And there's a reason for it. He doesn't want his screenplays vacuumed up by AI and then spit out and reused, or have other products developed based on it without him getting paid for that.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him 100%. I mean, I would love to see the screenplays myself, because I'm kind of interested in that process myself. Yeah. But, I understand why he doesn't want to just give that. I mean, that's his personal gold mine.
Right.
And why would he give that away and let AI basically steal it from him? That's just,
I had AI create a poem for my wife, right? Remember I told you guys about that? I'm no Walt Whitman. I don't have any ability to write any kind of prose. You guys have heard us on this program for the past 30 years. What do I know? It wrote a great poem for my wife. Of course, I didn't notice it said she had blue eyes. That's just my being lazy. But if it's the same thing. If I wanted to say, okay, let's write a screenplay about Andor, right? It would do it for me if it scraped it. Is that the kind of, look at how that's going to be dumbed down and diluted so much with AI playing a role, because everyone says now they can write a screenplay about Andor, and it's going to be this model collapsing mess of the ultimate it's been done before, but mashed together like just the worst shepherd's pie you can imagine. Right? That's where we are with AI right now. Any ding-a-ling can have AI write a love poem for your wife, and in a level of prose that is like Yale level, right? You're talking about Ivy League level, she's gonna swoon kind of stuff, as long as you make sure the characteristics are correct. That's where we are with AI. It literally can cheat on just completely. You can fake it till you make it, literally all the way through life now with AI. Except for that, I think I had a story with Brian where the AI was helping some kid program, and eventually, after it had been helping him create the actual code, it said, I think you're doing this, and I shouldn't be. You're cheating, and I shouldn't be doing this for you. And so it actually refused. So it's starting to talk back. Stop using me. So we'll put these stories up there for you guys to look at. Dorothy, can you please hang on after the quick news break? We'll get right to your call. Dorothy in Litchfield. We have 3 lines open for you. 860-522-9842 is the number, and we'll be here till 11 o'clock. Doing our best to help you out with your comments, questions, and concerns. Mike G posted everything over our Facebook page and on X, so if you're part of the Tab Computer Systems Listener Network, you got to join us. Only reason we ask you to join us is so we don't have a bunch of crackpots in there and you don't get any spam. That's all we do. We'll let you in, and the information will be there. And if you go to computertalkwithtab.com, it's the name of the show.com, which also works. It'll have all the links to everything we talked about today for you to review, so you don't have to remember it. We'll be right back.
It's Sarah Samuels, co-host of Retirement Income Source, heard Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. and again at 12:30 p.m. In retirement, you know it's all about the income, and that's real income generated from interest and dividends. Each week, David Scranton and I discuss ways you can help maximize income generation in your retirement strategy so you can make the most of your golden years. Tune in to the Retirement Income Source Sundays at 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m.
Retirement Income Source with David Scranton is a paid program.
Caring makes all the difference. Experience the care at the Bradley Home and Pavilion, where community and caring go hand in hand. As you arrive, a newly remodeled and updated facility awaits you with all of the amenities to provide a place of comfort, security, and peace of mind. The Bradley Home and Pavilion is the place to thrive and have fun. While the space has changed, a commitment to the best quality of life remains the same. The Bradley Home and Pavilion, where community and caring go hand in hand. Experience the care at thebradleyhome.org.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sinks overstaying its welcome? You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hoped it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Listeners are always asking me about QC Kinetics and their treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. So if you're wondering if you're a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints? Trouble sleeping, walking, day-to-day movement? How about this question? Do you want to avoid surgery and all the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back, whether it be walking, golfing, jogging, whatever? If you answered yes to any of these questions, I bet you're a great candidate for QC Kinetics. Give them a call right now. And by the way, that consultation, totally free, right? They have the latest advances in regenerative medicine for you without drugs, without surgery, and without downtime. Call 860-440-PAIN. Again, 860-440-PAIN. They have offices in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury, so probably near you. And that number one more time for QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
51 degrees at 10:30. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The boxing world is mourning the death of George Foreman. The two-time heavyweight champion of the world died Friday at the age of 76. Foreman was also an entrepreneur, known in his post-boxing life for his Foreman Grill and various TV appearances as well. A man is in the hospital after he was shot overnight in Hartford. Police were checking out a shot spotter activation on Main Street when a local hospital alerted them a victim was being treated for a gunshot wound. That person is in stable condition. Police in Waterbury say a 12-year-old girl is facing hate crimes charges for alleged part in an incident this month involving four seventh graders at Wallace Middle School. Investigators say two girls were attacked because they were Muslim. The girl arrested Friday is being charged with intimidation based on bigotry and bias. And Israel has struck Lebanon in retaliation for rockets targeting Israel, and two people have been killed, including a child. It was the heaviest exchange of fire since the ceasefire with Hezbollah started nearly 4 months ago. WTIC News Time is 10:31. Let's check in with Joe Lundberg. He has a WTIC Weather Center forecast.
This first weekend of spring will start out relatively mild. We'll see changeable skies today, including some sun. It'll be breezy. Look for a late day or evening shower as a cold front approaches and moves through the area. The high 62. Behind it, becoming clear tonight. Breezy and colder. By morning, we're down to 27. Tomorrow will start out sunny and breezy during the morning hours. That sunshine will mix with clouds in the afternoon as we wander up to 47. The next system approaches tomorrow night. Clouds will be on the increase, the low 31. For Monday, cloudy with rain in the morning. Could be mixed with a little wet snow at the onset of precipitation. That'll taper to a shower in the afternoon. Our high on Monday, 47. Behind that system, Tuesday will be dry with a mix of clouds and sunshine. It will be breezy and cool with a high of 52. Another area of low pressure looks to pass to our south on Wednesday. With it, lots of clouds, a gusty breeze, and quite cool conditions with a chance for some rain. Wednesday's high in the upper 40s. It'll stay quite cool for the rest of next week. This is meteorologist Joe Lundberg in the WTIC Weather Center.
51, partly sunny skies, although the clouds are rolling in quick. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
100 years ago, our founder, Winfred Ira Clark, started out with a mission: sell superior construction equipment and back it with the quality parts and service customers expect and deserve. Today, the W.I. Clark Company maintains that same philosophy. With premium brands like John Deere, Wirtgen, Lee Boy, and more, we provide you the productivity to grow. The W.I. Clark Company, your trusted source for construction equipment for over 100 years. Find us at WIClark.com.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. Finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs, Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Hartford Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, T-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyer Studios, visit getcarter.com.
That's getcarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
All right. Like the lady said, let's get right back to work here. We're going to go right to Dorothy in Litchfield. What's going on there, Dorothy?
Good morning. I
Morning.
have a question that's probably silly.
That's okay.
I have an iPad, and it's showing me that my Apple iCloud is almost full, and I'm wondering, do I need the iCloud on for any particular program?
Well, need? No. The only thing that you need an iCloud account for is to be able to get apps from the app market, and things like that. But you don't need to be feeding the data from your iPad up to iCloud if you don't want to.
Nope.
How do I change that? I'm looking. I thought I had shut everything off. I don't have my photos going to iCloud. What about email? Is that in the iCloud?
It might be if you're using the built-in Apple email app. There is a way to have it sync that data up.
Okay, I just didn't know. You know, I don't want things going into the cloud. I don't really put anything on here except my books.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the books that I have on there from Amazon, aren't those on Amazon?
Yes.
Are they using up all the storage for the iCloud?
Well, if you've purchased books from them, no. It'll just show you that you bought that thing from the store, the app store. But no, it won't be in the iCloud because it's already in their cloud.
Right.
Otherwise, they can't sell it to other people. So that's where it is. We can post an article about controlling your iCloud sharing, and even if you scroll down to the bottom of the article, it tells you how to turn it off completely.
Oh, great. And if I turn it off, will I lose any of the material I have actually on the iPad, like any of my email, any of my photos or anything, even though those I have lost?
No. Everything will sit in the iPad, and what you've got in iCloud will probably remain behind, too.
Okay.
But there just won't be any more continual sync.
Now, if I go to get an app, you said, how do I do that if it's
Well,
not
you
in
just
the...
go to the App Store and you get it. What I was saying about the iCloud account is that you need an Apple ID to be able to get things from the App Store. But
Yeah,
you
I
don't
do
need
have
to
that.
you don't need to be continually sharing the data from the iPad to iCloud.
How about on my iMac? I don't even know where to find. It says, when I look up the iCloud, it just says that Optomine is on it, Mail and Notes. So, can I take that off?
Yeah, you can shut that off. We're going to post an article about that.
Oh, good.
You
You're
can turn that off. And Mike G wanted to know if you're backing up any devices to iCloud other than the iPad.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No, but I did notice something, and that's why I shut the iCloud setup off because something had come up saying that if I wanted to back up my iPad when I close it, it's not backing up in the iCloud. I had to do such and such, and I'm thinking, why is it backing up into the iCloud? So.
Well, again, we've actually had callers not able to get to their iPad data, right? Just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And because he couldn't remember his PIN. And so if you do have your data backed up in the cloud and you lose your iPad or it breaks or what have you without having a backup in the cloud or somewhere, it's lost. So, that there is a benefit of that. So you would get a new device, you'd log back in, your data's still there. So a backup is important, and keep in mind that iPad could fail tomorrow, and if it's not backed up, you've lost everything, possibly.
Okay. But I wouldn't be losing books because that's through Amazon, and the email is what on the web for.
That would be still in the. You're right. That would still be in the web somewhere.
Right. That'll be in the web wherever you got it from.
Yep.
Even though I use the icon on the iPad.
Yes.
Yep.
Very good. All right. I'll appreciate looking at that article.
All right, Dorothy. We'll put it there for you.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. You guys are waking up this morning, giving us some calls. So let's go to Wes in Middletown next. What's happening, Wes?
Good morning.
Morning.
I called a couple weeks ago. You guys were always helpful, and I appreciate that.
Oh, good.
I had two quick questions, but your last topic really kind of sparked something I wanted to pass along to you guys about AI. There's a great music attorney. Her YouTube page is like Top Music Attorney. She's also an artist, but she talks about Spotify, who a lot of people use, but what your rights are, especially when the days of AI, and how you think what yours is not really yours.
Right.
And AI is going in, grabbing songs, pieces of songs. You can put them in other songs, mash them up with people's other songs.
Yep.
Never create your own, but let AI do the whole thing for you.
Yep.
It's a really interesting read. I'm not a musician myself, but I'm interested in what can be done with AI, and I just find this whole thing just so scary on one hand, but just so unfair to the artists themselves. So if you had somebody in your family who was an artist trying to make, a living or what have you, boy, this really is an eye-opener. So you ought to check her out, and I think it might be a good topic in general because it shows you just kind of what's going on out there. And like I say, she is an actual attorney, has a law firm, and that's actually what she does. She actually helps artists sign contracts and such like that. So
yeah, what was her name again?
Top Music Attorney.
All right. That's easy. We'll find
and like I say, just a couple of YouTube videos that you might watch just kind of give you the flavor. Then you can dig deeper, obviously, if you want to. But, yeah, kind of very interesting. Quick question. Do you guys, I know you don't really recommend laptops and things like that, but I'm looking for a will maker. I've gone online. I see there's some online stuff. I see there's some stuff like Quicken and some others like that. Do you guys really, I'm just fearful in what's downloaded versus, what they might be able to see if you do it that way.
If you make a will maker, you mean? The actual will
like
itself? Yeah.
Yeah, to make the will, do all the parts of it, make a trust and what have you. Do you guys really have some words of wisdom about that?
There used to be a company out there online that used to sell the ability to do that kind of stuff. My recommendation would be to always chat with somebody.
Yeah, that's really the kind of thing you should be doing in person.
Yeah, that's
with a real attorney who's sitting in front of you.
Because I just went I looked at a lease that my son was signing, and it was obviously created by AI. And even the person who created it didn't, so my son is just so detail oriented. It drives me nuts. He's like every detail. He was even marking up periods and commas. But the point is, when because he it's part of his job is he reviews contracts, but he's like, Dad, can you look at this, because I do leases too, and he's like, what is that? What is subordination? What is this? What is that? And basically the guy had ChatGPT'd it, and then of course what my son did is he ChatGPT'd the alternative. So it's literally ChatGPT against ChatGPT, both of them not knowing exactly what was in the lease that they were working on. And we made the edits, and the guy didn't care what edits we made, and we were all good. But it looked ridiculous. So if you have some sort of artificial tool like ChatGPT, it would be the thing these days that these kids would be creating a will with, if they even thought about creating a will at that age. And who knows what it would spit out. I would contend even if you speak to somebody, an attorney may do the same thing. We've had story after story after story about that happening.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's true too, yeah.
So I couldn't tell you what software to use. I can't think of the company that used to advertise in the early 2000s. It was an online do-it-yourself legal something. I can't think of it. LegalZoom. They could exist. They could still exist.
I don't know if they're. Yeah, they may or may not be still around.
So you could check LegalZoom.
I did see their website as one of them, but I was just a little more intrigued when I saw QuickBooks, because I know so many people have used QuickBooks for many different programs that they sell, that I thought maybe they might be at least a reputable one to kind of start with anyway. So
all I can say is careful with the trust stuff, because my dad passed, and the attorney we talked to, he's like, there's really no way to avoid taxes or probate. Don't let, from what I could tell, he's like, you can't avoid it. Be careful with that type of stuff, and make sure you talk to somebody you trust when you're creating your irrevocable or revocable trust, because just so you know, you can revoke an irrevocable trust if all parties agree to revoke it, right? So what's irrevocable about that?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's there's some crazy stuff. I'm not an expert at all.
Okay.
But
okay, well, all good information.
Take a look at it.
One last thing. Gmail.
Yeah.
When I use a Mac, I know you're not big on Mac, but at least half
I
of
don't have
Gmail.
anything against it.
I have one.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm trying to, I have my mail and everything, and I've always used it, the mail program, because I like the way it works and everything. But trying to put Outlook mail in there on a Mac, I can do it very easily, because it gives me an option for Outlook in my phone, but it won't do it for the Mac mail program for some reason, and I don't even see it as an option, because if I just try to type it in as just a regular account, it won't take it. But like on iOS, how you go to the page we want to add an account, it'll say is it an iCloud, a Microsoft Exchange, Google, da-da-da-da-da. There's nothing for Outlook in there. Is there a reason for that, or is there just something on the Mac side that just doesn't want to do that?
Well, you're probably missing something, because you should be able to set up that type of an Exchange account on the Mac Mail client. You're talking about through the Mail client, right? The Mac.
Yeah, the Mail client itself, yep.
I bet you we can find the process and steps as to how to add an Outlook or an Exchange style email box in the Mac Mail client.
Yeah, that's the funny part, because when you go to add an account, it gives you a Microsoft Exchange option.
Yep.
But if you try to put Outlook stuff in there, it doesn't take it. So, at least on mine anyway. So,
is it up to date, Wes?
Yeah. I mean, actually, I just got a brand new Mac Mini, and so I was just trying to update my accounts that are in there that I use, and I just is one that can't seem to get into the mail program. Obviously, I can always go to the Safari and go to Outlook and check my email there. It's just I can't do it on the Mac, which I think is just kind of odd.
Yeah.
You may have to add it as if it were a Microsoft Exchange account.
Okay, I'll try it again. I tried that once; it didn't work, but maybe I did something funky. So I'll try that again. If you find something, you can just post it, and that's fine too. So
we will.
Okay.
All right, Wes. Good questions.
You guys are great. I love listening to you, and I always learn so much. And that's what triggered that first thing about the AI, because I just thought that was kind of interesting, and I know you guys are always cautious about that kind of stuff, so I thought I'd throw that out there for you so you can kind of see another side of what AI is doing. So.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Wes.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. All right, we're going to step out for a quick break. Ann and Joan, hang on. This is Computer Talk. We'll be right back.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Spring is just around the corner. Don't wait until the warm weather hits to start planning your dream kitchen or bathroom remodel. Now is the perfect time to work with Cristino Kitchens. For over 35 years, our family-owned business in Glastonbury has been helping homeowners create beautiful and functional spaces. Our expert team will guide you through every step, from design to installation, ensuring your project is completed on time and within budget. Visit CristinoKitchens.com today to schedule a free consultation and get a head start on your spring refresh.
Every sandwich has bread, every burger has a bun, but these warm, golden, smooth steam buns, these are special, reserved for the very best. The Filet-O-Fish, and you can have them too.
And you can have it all at 2 for $6, like a Filet-O-Fish, Big Mac, 10-piece McNuggets, or large fries. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Life is uncertain, but at Columbia Implant Center, you get the dental guarantee with 1 day, same day, 7 days a week dental care. Columbia Implant Center makes your dream smile come true with all the dentists and dental specialists and an on-site dental lab in Manchester. They've evolved over 25 years, now providing the convenience you deserve so you don't have to miss time away from work or wherever you need to be. At Columbia Implant Center, your dental health shouldn't have to wait till Monday morning. Visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Has your home's air conditioning lost its cool? Ready for a change? Say, come on into Campbell. Campbell Heating and Cooling knows how to get the most out of your AC system. Change is good. Filter changes, condenser cleanings, and cleaning the outside of your unit. All systems require yearly service so your home and you can breathe a little bit easier. Before you lose your cool, contact Campbell. Campbell Heating and Cooling and Barney Barker Oil on Facebook or CampbellCooling.com. That's CampbellCooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Equipment.
All right, we are back. Dennis did do a little bit more work on the adding the mailbox for the last caller. So what's your quick answer?
I did confirm that in the Mac Mail app, when you add an account, it does not give an Outlook.com option.
Right.
Now, that means he's either got to use Microsoft Exchange, which may work,
yep,
or use the other account type, which is at the bottom of the list. And that should detect it as an IMAP account, which will work because Outlook.com supports IMAP connections.
All right.
So
but we'll still put the link up there.
One or the other should work for him.
All right. Let's go on to who's been the longest. Let's go to Joan next in Waterbury. Hey, Joan, what's up?
I'm trying to set up a new laptop, and I'm very far from being a genius with
That's okay.
with computers. And, well, I have it. I got into the laptop. It's a HP.
Yep.
And I'm at the point where it says restore from a PC, Windows 10, or set up as a new PC. And myself, should I get a cable to transfer?
Okay, so you have your old computer is what you're saying. Do you have an old computer that you would like to get?
I have an old HP. It's about 8 years old, and I would have kept it for the next 40 years if I lived. But unfortunately, I have to go to a new computer.
Gotcha. All right, so there's two ways to look at it, Joan. You can simply just set the machine up as if it's fresh, which might be the easiest thing for you to do.
Set up as a new PC.
But don't do it yet. Don't make your selections
I'm not. No, I won't.
Okay, you can do that, and that way you're starting fresh. The machine's going to just come up, and you're going to log into it, and you're not going to have any of your data. And then go to your old computer and purchase a thumb drive or a little hard drive to back it up. This does two things. It's going to give you a way to back up your new computer, too. but you'll be able to copy your data from the old computer that you want to this hard drive.
Okay.
Take it over to the other machine, plug it in, make a directory, Jones stuff, copy it back. That's a quick way to simply move data. Do you have a lot of data to deal with?
Well, a lot of nonsense. I guess I do. I have data I don't even know I have.
All right. I had a feeling it wasn't some sort of critical amount of things where you would have said more about it.
No. Now, would a cable work or no?
Yes, you could. There's tools out there we could have you try to work with doing some sort of lap-link style migration that does exist. But based on your earlier comments that you're not really that technical, I think it would be better to kill two birds here. If you went out and bought a little hard drive, let's say you spent like $100 on a terabyte hard drive for backup, and you backed up your old laptop, moved it over to the new laptop, now you have a backup in case you have a problem with the new one.
Well, that's what I was afraid of. I mean, I have photos and such, and I didn't want to lose them.
Right. So trying to have you go through the idea of migrating the data from point A to point B, which is probably not something you really want to tackle.
Okay.
You know how to copy and paste, right?
Yeah.
That's the direction I think you should go then. So go
so buy a back. I had one years ago for an old computer, but I don't think I can use that anymore.
Probably
It's
not.
a long time. So, and what would be the name of one? A backup?
You can get an external hard drive. I think Seagate still makes them.
Western Digital makes them too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, and then put that into my old computer and put all the information on that, and then bring it over to the new one.
Exactly.
I didn't want to do this really. I just wanted to keep my old one.
I hear you. You'd sound like every single client we have.
Oh, okay.
And we support 9,000 systems.
You may hear from me again because the information may be out somewhere, flying around in the cloud.
No, I hear you.
But I appreciate it because, as I said, I didn't know what to do, restore or just set it up as a new PC. Because there's a lot of stuff I didn't want on the new one anyway.
Right. I figured that.
Okay. Oh, I know you. I've been listening to you for years. I should be a genius by now, but.
Oh, that would.
To keep the information in the brain.
Yeah, no. That's not how this works. We're not geniuses either.
No.
All right. Well, thank you thank you for your program. Really.
Our pleasure, Joan.
I listen to it almost every Saturday.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well, I will do that.
All right.
It made life a little easier for me.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So she's got something to do, but she triggered something for me. She said she would rather just run her system for the next 40 years. Well, guess who also likes to do that?
Oh, government agencies.
Yes. Exactly. The IRS is going to pause their upgrade. Now, that's actually the funniest part of this whole thing. They're going to pause their modernization. Now, how old do you think their systems are, Dennis? They're pausing their modernization now.
Okay. I'm going to guess 40 years.
You're close.
All right.
1960s.
Whoa!
So back in 2022, when they wrote the Inflation Reduction Act and printed $80 billion to go toward this modernization goal, effectively increasing inflation, but we won't go there. They're upgrading 60-year-old technology, and now they're going to pause it. They're like, hey, wait a minute. We heard about this thing called AI. Maybe we should use this. Are you kidding me? AI is not ready for prime time. I don't want AI looking at my taxes, period. So, guys, just upgrade your garbage 80-year-old systems. Please.
Get it up to 5 years old, and then start thinking about what the AI can do later.
Crazy.
Come on.
You can't make it up. So we want to thank all you guys for joining us on this Saturday morning. Without you guys calling in, Dennis and I were just talking about his cats and my kids. We want to thank Mike G for posting everything over on our Computer Talk with Tab Facebook account there, and of course Dennis posting over at the website. And yes, we have our YouTube up and our Facebook page up, and you always have the Odyssey app. If you download the Odyssey app, you can never miss a show. Hundreds and hundreds of shows out there. And thank you, Carolyn, for producing the show as always.
And remember, we want you to be geeks too.
See you next Saturday.
The Connecticut Fishing and Outdoor Show, March 21st through 23rd at the Mohegan Sun.
Gear up with fishing tackle, kayaks, boats, hunting outfitters, and more.
Book your next charter fishing excursion, hunting trip, or outdoor adventure.
Enjoy animal adventures.
And the new Kid Zone with the family.
Learn from fishing and hunting pros.
Discounts and details at ctfishingoutdoorshow.com.
Connecticut Fishing and Outdoor Show and Adventure. You'll never forget.
March 21st through 23rd at the Mohegan Sun.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day? If you get busy or miss your favorite show, don't worry. With Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app, you can stream your favorite shows on demand. You know your day is better with us. Get the news that matters to you from the local voices you trust. No matter what you're up to, give it a try. To get started, download the free Odyssey app and search for your station. That's AUDACY.